Good morning, Cynthia, and welcome to Business Spotlight Interview. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So to get started, Cynthia, maybe you could just give the audience an introduction to yourself and your business, how long you've been in business, where you're at, etc.
We've been in business 4 years now. I'm a retired air traffic controller. We started this business originally to give my son somewhere to work. He is on the spectrum. Some say he has Asperger's, but mainly what he has is not the best social skills, and he was having trouble getting and keeping a job. And so we decided we would employ him, and that was the impetus for starting the business. It's of course become much more than that. We have 3 locations now, and we're doing well.
So how long have you been in business there?
4 years.
4 years. Okay, excellent. Well, I told you in the introduction before we went live that I'm a raving fan of the Roxelle Milk Bar. It's an iconic shop here in Newnan, so it's a great place to come and hang out and to enjoy some great products. So okay, so first question for you really is, when you think of success as either a human being or a business owner or a mom or a wife or whatever you want to look at it, what would you define as what's your definition of success?
I would say, financial success is just a small part of it. Being able to enjoy your family and have quality relationships with other people is probably a better measure of success in my mind.
Is there any person that comes to mind specifically that's kind of a benchmark for you personally when it comes to being a success?
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, personal success. Rodney Peak is a friend of mine. I think Kenya Brantley is a great example of both types of success. She owns Greenhouse Mercantile just up the street from us. I mean, there's just so many. And of course, there's the big names too, but I can't really relate to them. These people are people that I can relate to. Matt Crawford that owns the Orange Joint. Anyway, those kind of people I can relate to. I see their struggles and am impressed, that they maintain.
So as a business owner, you've owned this business for 4 years. What's been some of your biggest learnings as a business owner in that over that time?
Gosh, there's so much. I'd never had a business before. I had not been in the restaurant business since I was a teenager, and that was working the drive-thru at Wendy's. So for me, everything was a learning curve. The financial part, the labor part, the just supply chain, and making sure that we had everything we needed to make ice cream. And because we made everything ourselves, we still make everything ourselves. And so when you ask what was the hardest thing or the thing that I learned the most, well, everything. I mean, I knew nothing. So it's been a steep learning curve, but we came out on the other side, I think, and we're still learning every day. We're still learning. So the hardest thing for me probably was people skills. I was an air traffic controller, and I don't know if you know any people that were air traffic controllers, but after 25 years of telling people where to go and what to do and expecting them to do it when you tell them, exactly how you tell them, and then you're in a different kind of position, it's difficult to translate that. You can't be bossing everybody around all the time. That was hard for me to make that transition of I still have to be the boss, but I might need to be a little bit more tactful. I do realize now that since that's not my strength, I've tried to surround myself with people that are good at that, and that is their strength, and that's really helped too.
Yeah, you said that. That's an excellent answer. You said you covered a lot of topics there because you described the journey of an entrepreneur and a business owner quite well, right? It can be a lonely and somewhat scary journey. And as you transition, from staff to manager to business owner, and then plus owning your own business, that can be a very difficult journey. So, and that really is the purpose of these interviews, to help people, learn best practices and hear the stories of other owners. So excellent. Thank you. So 4 years in, so go ahead and double that in your mind. So let's say you're on the 8-year mark. What are the aspirations for Rock Salt Milk Bar in the next 4 years?
Well, we would like to have a dedicated production facility somewhere close by, possibly with a storefront. But right now, our production is split. We're making ice cream in Peachtree City. We're doing all of our baked goods in Newnan, and we're still doing our non-dairy in Newnan. And that's proved to be a bigger logistical challenge than we thought it. Well, we knew it was going to be a big challenge, but we thought, oh, it won't be that big a deal. But it is a challenge. I think it would be really great for also our bakers and our ice cream makers, for them to be working side by side instead of constantly, calling each other and texting each other. What do you need? What do you need? And which we've come up with little ways to do that, but that's probably my biggest goal, and just to be able to support that, that would probably mean more locations, which I think for us especially, our vibe is downtowns. It's smaller towns that have, maybe not necessarily smaller towns, but the downtown old building vibe is definitely more our style. And so I would definitely like to have some places, a couple more places.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so you're a growing business going through all the supply chain woes that a lot of them go through. So I understand completely. So for the viewers, Cynthia's store is located in downtown Newnan. Newnan's kind of a old Georgia city, and we have a neighboring city called Peachtree City, which is a newer city. So she described those 2 locations. So when you, and we're about 40 miles south of Metro Atlanta. So when you look at this area, Cynthia, as far as labor and hiring people and resources, I'm sure you have a quite eclectic number of resources, from production to customer facing roles and back office. What's it been like for you on employment and hiring people? How's it been for you in this area?
Well, I get plenty of teenagers, which, are the bulk of our employees. Of course, with teenagers are challenges, because there's lots of drama with teenagers. But I do love them. They keep me young. As far as ice cream makers and bakers and managers, that's been a little more difficult. Brandy's been with us now for about 2.5 years. Maddie, she's our head baker. She's amazing. Maddie, our head ice cream maker, has been with us about 1.5 years. They both just graduated from college. So I know that probably sometime in my future, we're going to have to figure out how to replace them. And I'm not excited about it because it was hard to find them to begin with. And managers at the store, now that I'm not at the store 24/7, which is how it felt that first year. Don't go into business unless you want to live there the first year. But so now I'm having to use managers, and that has been a little bit harder. We've had a little bit more turnover. I've wound up my most successful managers have actually been kids that I've kept, that I've promoted them from within, rather than people that I've hired from the outside, which is, I did not expect that. I really thought I'd be able to hire some managers, and it just hasn't worked out. Even when I've been able to hire them, I don't know, they don't stay. I offer them what they ask for, and but it just hasn't worked out. So, and of course, for every 50 applications that you get, 3 or 4 of them will show up for an interview, and then then they may ghost you after that, or so yeah, hiring managers has been the hardest. Teenagers have been great. And we actually have 2 teenagers run this shop here in Newnan. We have a teenager still running our shop, and I guess they're not quite teenagers anymore. They're out of high school, but they started here. They started as teenagers. We have the same in Peachtree City. We just lost our manager in LaGrange. She had been with us from the very beginning. She started with us when she was 16, right after we opened here in Newnan, and she stayed with us and went down there and ran LaGrange for us. But she's off to college again, so we're losing her. But hold on one second. Pause just a second. What? I don't think so. Okay, they fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done.
No, that's fine. You're live in the store, so this is real life. It's all good. So yeah, so it sounds like access to it from a quantity standpoint is pretty good, but it's all about quality. And with the younger employees, it's just the transient nature of kids going to school, coming back, etc. Right? So yeah.
Right. And also, nights and weekends are part of this, and so it's not everybody wants to do that. I think that also makes the hiring process a little more difficult.
Yeah. So as you know, I'm a business coach, so I have to ask this question. So when you think about sort of your best coach in life, in business, in any kind of capacity in sports, who comes to mind when you think about that best coach for you, Cynthia, in your life, and why?
Probably my husband. I don't know that he's coached me as much as he's encouraged me and let me do all the wild and crazy things that I want to do. and basically supported me. That was him. That was here fixing things. And even though he has a real job, he still comes here and helps us out and make sure that we have what we need to keep going. So.
Yeah, really critical to be aligned as a business owner with all the decision makers in the family, because like you said, the journey can be difficult, and having a spouse who is full 100% supportive means all the difference in the world. So
it really does.
Yeah. So you're a lot closer to your 18-year-old self than I am. But if you had a time machine and could go back to your 18-year-old self, is there any, knowing where you're at today and what life looked like for you, is there any advice that you'd give yourself to your 18-year-old self back then?
Yeah, I'd open an IRA. I'd have done it right then. And even if I only put $20 a year in it, I'd have kept it going. Yeah, that's probably the best advice. I mean, I have a good retirement from being an air traffic controller. But yeah, looking back, I wouldn't change anything about my life except for, I wish I had done that. But I've had an eventful life, but it's been good.
So no regrets, and invest and save early, right? I think that was
invest early, no regrets. I don't know if I believe the stuff about follow your dreams. I see too many kids now, and people have told them you have to have the perfect job, and you have to follow your dream, and I think there's a little bit of truth in that, but also you have to put food on the table, and also sometimes when you do something like I never even thought about being an air traffic controller. I certainly didn't think that it would be my dream job, even after my mother said, "Hey, you should apply for this job." They said it pays really well, and so I did. I had no aviation background or any of that, and it turned out to be a job I loved. So I just think that too much of the time now we tell these kids, "Oh, you have to, follow your dreams," and I don't think you might find what you really love. I did not expect to love the ice cream business either, for that matter. When we first looked at it, we were going to do like a small soft serve shop. My son was going to run it. We started doing research, and we found that, we really liked hard food. That was really what we liked. And as we traveled all over the country, we were RVing full time at the time. We tasted ice cream everywhere. And we were like, yeah, and there's a big difference in ice cream. You know, there's really good ice cream, there's really bad ice cream, and there's everything in between. And we decided we wanted to make really good ice cream. And so we set about doing that. And it became a labor of love. But did it start out that way? No. So I think that'd be my other advice for young people. Try new things. You might not think it's going to be your dream job. You might not think it's going to be your dream business, but it might turn out that way.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful answer. And I'm a firm believer in dreams, but two things from my opinion on that is one, you don't get there immediately. It's a journey, and there are many different paths along the way that are all value add, right? Which is your point. Take risks, take action. You can always back up or change directions, right? So
I've never
great
ever
answer.
thought of myself as a risk taker. And a couple weeks ago, we were having a meeting here, and somebody said something about, well, yeah, you're a huge risk taker. And I'm like, me? Because I was thinking, I don't ever take risks. And after we thought about it, you know, everybody pointed out, actually, yeah, you do. I was like, yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, take risks.
Well, starting a business is always risk, but it's can be very, you know, and that you're multiple locations now. And for the record, for all the viewers out there, they do, Rock Salt Milk Bar, make excellent ice cream. So 100% agree with your goal and then the result. I've had it personally, and it's fantastic. So I really appreciate the answers. So I guess the last question, just kind of give you the stage to make sure that any viewers know where you're located, you know, how to get in contact with you, you know, any offers or etc. But anything that you just want to leave the listeners with as far as locating and testing your products and getting engaged.
We are located in Newnan. That's our original location, right off the square, 8 East Washington Street. We're also located in Peachtree City, 107 Lexington Circle. It's a little bit harder to find, but still a great location. And then our newest location is in LaGrange in the Hillside neighborhood. It is 706 Lincoln Street, or right around the corner from Beacon Brewery. And it's the cutest store. It's got a huge deck on the back. It's so cute. But to get in touch with us, rocksaltmilkbar@gmail.com. Our website is down right now. I think actually the website's up, but you can't purchase anything online right now. We recently changed our point of sale system, and we're still trying to work out bugs with that. It's not been smooth. But hopefully we'll have that running again. And if you go to rocksaltmilkbar.com, hopefully soon that will actually work. But also there's the website there if you want any information, and you can contact me through that.
Excellent. Thank you. I really appreciate your time today. You described the journey of an entrepreneur and a business owner quite well. And that's the purpose of all these interviews, is because we believe that universities and colleges don't teach you how to own a business. They teach you how to have a job. So it's all about networking and owners sharing their journey with other owners. So thank you for your time, Cynthia. It was very interesting. I appreciate it.
Thank you.